So let's talk about how to repair scuffs and scratches. As you can see, this shoe has some unfortunate scuffing right there, which really detracts from the look of the shoe. So, how are we going to fix this? Well, let's find out. Alright, so here we have our shoes. This one's actually okay, so I don't really have to mess with it, but whenever I do something to one shoe, I always do the equivalent to the other, just to make sure that they both keep looking as nice as they did. Otherwise, you'll have like an uneven sort of thing on each one, and that's no good. So, first off, what are you going to need? Well, it's always nice to have a brush, either a small brush or a large brush, just to get things going. So, here I have my Allen Edmonds horsehair brush. And we're just going to take it and we're just going to go at it. So brushing, what this does is it removes dirt, removes grime and other impurities that you don't want from your shoe. Alright, cool. So now we've brushed our shoe up all nice. What is the next step? Well, here's the thing. So there's basically 2 levels of polish you can do on a shoe. You start off with cream, and then you move on to actual wax. Now, for this, we're going to have to do a couple different layers, because, as you can see, the toe is kind of burnished, meaning it's darker than the rest of it. So in order to maintain that look and that style, we're going to start off with some dark brown. Some Allen Edmonds dark brown shoe cream. This stuff's pretty good. And all you gotta do with it is simply get your cloth. Here's my wrong one. Here's dark brown cream, Allen Edmonds. So you get your cotton cloth and you just open this bad boy up. So this is what cream looks like on the inside. It's literally like a paste sort of thing, kind of liquidy. Then you get your cloth and just kind of put some cream on there and go just at the toe, because as we can see, it's just the toe that is burnished here, not the rest of it. So we don't want all of it to be dark brown. We just want the toe. So put some stuff on your cloth, just a little dab will do you, just a smidge, and then you put it on the toe, like so. Remember, we're only doing about the first, I don't know, what's that, inch of the toe, so careful not to go too far with it. And we really want to work it into that scuff we saw over here earlier. That's what we're trying to repair here, is that particular scuff. So this doesn't take too long, just kind of work it in there. You see the scuff's still a little rough, so get a smidge more and get that right on in there. And don't worry about going too far up, because we can use light brown later to kind of cover up any mistakes we had. And we're going to go through it with a thing of actual wax anyways later, so it's not that big of a deal. So, yeah, I'm still not liking the look of that scuff, so I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. Because what this cream does, it actually stains the leather, the color that you want it to. And that's what we're trying to do in order to cover up scuffs. The most important thing is that you're restaining the leather, because scuffs are when it kind of scuffs away the outer layer of wax and polish and reveals like the inner unfinished leather essentially, and you want to restain that exposure back to its color that you want it to be. So once you've done that, just gonna let that sit for a couple seconds or so. Let it dry, let it seep in there, because you actually want, it's most effective if you let these creams dry after you apply them. Ah, here we go. How's that look? Perfect. So, and probably pretty dry by now. You could wait as long as you want, really, but we were just doing a video, so no need to wait for too long. And then what you want to do is you want to take your cloth, I got this rag, or sock rather, and you just kind of buff it back and forth. You can go hard, doesn't really matter, just kind of go at it. Alright, so we see that scuff is looking quite a bit better, but still not all the way. But that's alright, because our next step is to actually go over this with the dark wax. And this is what really finishes the whole thing. So, we're going to grab some Lincoln Stain Wax, dark brown shoe polish. This is some of the best polish I've worked with. It's better than Kiwi, it's better than Allen Edmonds. So it's pretty good stuff. And then you're going to grab your cloth for your Lincoln, marked it dark brown Lincoln, and pop it open. So for this stuff, you can put a little bit of moisture. I usually just spit. Like, I'll just lick the cloth a little bit to make it somewhat wet. A little bit more. And then, gonna just get some of this wax onto the cloth here. And then we're just gonna apply it right on to the shoe. And remember, we're gonna concentrate right where that scuff was. And with this burnished toe, you can make it as far as you want. You can make it all the way up to the top if you want to. I try to keep it to the first, the front inch or so. Otherwise, it starts looking just a bit tacky. And there's that scuff looking pretty good. Let's put just a smidge more in there, because this wax is what really fixes things. Because the cream will fill in the gaps. Well, not really fill. Well, it will stain the leather to the color that you want it to have, and then it's going to make it look nice. But if you want to actually fill in the gaps, which is because the scuff is actually material being removed, if you want to replace that material, I'm just going to put some of this wax on there. So looking pretty good. So we're just going to let that sit. You know, this stuff doesn't really dry, but it always is nice to let it sit for just a while. For it to really activate, I don't know. And just wait a couple seconds. And it should be good to go by now. You're going to take your all-purpose sock again and just go to town buffing it. You can go as hard or as soft as you like. It doesn't really matter. Just kind of really get that stuff worked in there, because when you're rubbing with the cloth, what you're doing is, one, you're removing the excess wax, and two, you're really working it in there to make sure it's doing what it needs to. And this also makes it shiny, because if you don't buff it, it doesn't become shiny. And Lincoln Stain Wax is known for being extremely shiny, so it's really good stuff. And looking alright. So I can still see some remnants of that scuff. It was a pretty rough one. So what you can do now is you can do one final application, or pretty much you can do as many applications as you need to get to where you need to go. I'm just going to put some more of this wax on there, and really kind of get that that stuff in there. Alright, so got that on there. We're just going to buff it off. And look at that. You can barely tell that the scuff was ever there. If this would ever focus. So look at that, you have just repaired a pretty nasty scuff. And you can barely tell it was even there. So, that's about it for this episode of shoe stuff, I guess. Today I showed you how to repair scuff, and all you gotta do is get some cream and get some wax, and you're all set. Thanks for watching.